This video is my first impressions of the Landyachtz Tugboat. For some context, I have previously ridden the Landyachtz Dinghy. The dinghy is a great board, but as with like all other mini cruisers, after about 5 minutes of riding, you get really tired riding it. And it's not the most comfortable board to ride for long periods of time. And if you want to learn why those two things are as such, you can check out my review of the dinghy on my other channel. I'm not saying the dinghy is bad, those problems are something that all mini cruisers face. And here's where the tugboat comes in. The tugboat is a much wider version of the dinghy and it should solve those two issues perfectly. The width means it'll be easier to skate, it should be less nimble than the dinghy, making it easier to just sort of stand on it and you don't work as much to keep the board going straight. And the width makes it a little bit more comfortable. But that's all theory. We're gonna have to put that into practice, ride the board a little bit and see how it stacks up. I'm gonna be filming everything, and if you guys disagree with my conclusion, feel free to roast me in the comments. So yeah, make sure you watch the whole video and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, so just go home from testing the board. So a few things. It is very similar to the dinghy, feels practically the same, just a little bit wider. And it also feels the same when it comes to doing tricks. Definitely not the best board for it, like the dinghy. But it is a lot more comfortable than the dinghy. I could literally just stand on it and ride forever. I was super comfortable on it. It's also a lot more stable, which generally makes it a lot more beginner friendly, which is nice. But it is still very portable. It's still very much a mini cruiser, and if you're a beginner looking for an easy to ride board, this is a great option. Awesome, very comfortable, love it. But it really sucks when it comes to maneuverability. This board didn't turn all that well. And Landyachtz recognizes this. They've even like wedged the front truck just to get a little bit more turning out of it, but still it wasn't enough for me. What I had to do was flip the roadside washer, and this just allowed the roadside bushing to work a bit more freely, and that sort of gave me a lot better turning. But generally it wasn't as turny as I would like it to be. I would have loved it to be a little bit more nimble, and this would have been super useful, like when you're in the city and you have to dodge like obstacles, moving between people, cars, whatever. But ultimately the kicktail is there, and that does sort of compensate a lot for that lack of turniness. So I don't know. And I tried to power slide it as well, and it just felt a little bit weird. The dinghy was a lot easier to power slide. Absolutely loved it for that. But this just felt a little bit weird, and why that is, in my opinion, is they wedged the front truck without compensating for a harder bushing in the back. Yeah, it just felt a little bit inconsistent in the slides, but it was very slidey, but it was a lot more difficult to hold them out. But yeah, I really like the board, but the thing that I really don't like about it is its maneuverability, and there are several things that I could do to it to, make it a lot turnier and still stable, I think if Landyachtz went with the 130mm polar bears and paired them with like the Supreme Hogs, this board would be a lot better. You'd still have something that's still sort of easy to slide, still lightweight, still easy to carry around, but it'll turn a lot better, rolls for longer, be easier to push for longer. So yeah, but I'll be trying that. Maybe my theory completely sucks, so we'll see. Stay tuned. Remember, subscribe if you want to see me try that out. And yeah, those are my first thoughts on the tugboat. Remember, this isn't a review, so yeah, man, hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Let me know what your comments are on this video about this board.